last week also I did. Why the science versus dharma thing, religion thing? I also sent you a few emails on the videos, I think.
Yeah, I didn't have enough time to look at all that, sir. Yeah, no
Okay,
problem. Go
okay.
ahead and discuss.
So why it's like saying that science is basically you don't need that because science is in our dharma and stuff because it's saying like the binary system in India used to be in some form or that there are ideas like charvak and all which is close to atheism, so you don't need to leave Hinduism or that it's part of India's culture and stuff. So that debate I'm having because you said one should remove the religious hat, so it's like if these philosophies are but accepted in the religion, so how should I see, should I still consider myself outside the religion, or how does it work in that regard?
No. Charvakas were never Hindus, sir. These people just want to add Charvakas also and other philosophies also into the umbrella term called Hinduism, just to make sure
Okay.
that they will be together when another religion is the enemy at this point. See,
Okay, 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 okay.
some time back, I told you, or not you, maybe somebody, re- re- just remove Christianity and Islam from the equation. Okay, just
Right.
for the time being, remove these two from the equation. Now imagine all the people in India. Are all of them Hindus? Do all of them
Mm.
respect each other?
No.
Absolutely not, right? So once you remove these Abrahamic religions, you now immediately open a big Pandora's box, a worms box, full box of worms with caste system, with what do you say, patriarchy,
Right.
disdain for the people who do different types of jobs, disdain for women, um, any language-based discrimination, looks-based
Right.
discrimination. Everything is still there, exactly the same way.
It's there. It's you can't
so
leave it.
so don't ever think that another person who identifies himself as Hindu is your friend. He's never your friend. If he's identifying himself with a religion, by default you will be the target one way or the other. If not
I mean,
today, tomorrow.
I,
If not tomorrow, the day after. If not your looks, it will be religion. If not that, it will be your food habit. If not that, it will be your way of dressing. If not that, it will be your interest in people. For example, I'm not saying you are, but if a person is gay or if it has a different interest, they will be discriminated. And they
right.
say that my religion or my dharma says that these people are not worthwhile.
Okay. So on this, I want to come to a topic because I was there's a couple of things I want to talk about was related to say this caste system and all. So the caste system thing, do you think it can happen in reverse where there's discrimination against Brahmins or at least poor Brahmins for being higher in the caste?
Actually, it will be like, how will I say? It will look from the other side as if it is discrimination. It's like white people in US calling
Hmm.
that they are being discriminated against. They'll call it reverse racism.
Okay, okay. No, because
Okay,
this
that's
incident happened in US where you heard this thing where the Dalit activist was supposed to go against, for the Google thing, but then it got cancelled because there was a lot of Indian employees who complained that she's saying a lot of anti-Brahmin stuff. So, like the people who had posted some of the tweets she made, they are kind of going a bit too much into the extreme sometimes. Like they are going and supporting some like really extremist stuff, or even in terms of say other groups which are tend to be extremist. So I'm like that can happen, right? Potentially. So how does one see in that where it's a right or wrong?
I don't know how to exactly answer this when we have let's see. What you're saying is, should we stop people from being anti-Brahmin? Because I don't know how to answer. Can you
Okay.
elaborate the question once more, please?
I'll post the link to you. This whole controversy had
No, that's okay. You
went
can
on
explain it
because
in simpler term.
one like
What
employee
was
like
no? What was your point that you wanted to
she
make?
basically I said so it's like reverse discrimination in a way can also exist, or in a way where you can if there's like Dalit activists also they can go extreme and people are being targeted simply because they're higher in the caste system. So that can be a possibility, right? Even if they don't want. Like I watch particular like science journey. I watch. I like the channel, but there's a lot of times where just he keeps attacking like, oh, the Brahman this, Brahman that, they did this, and it's like I understand, and most of your points are good, but constantly calling them Brahmins or that upper caste, constantly saying, oh, Brahmins are there who are at fault or that they destroyed everything. It does kind of come off as a bit hateful sometimes.
Hmm. But the point is, if you remember, in the same channel, there is this self-proclaimed, not self-proclaimed, it's an ex-Brahmin and ex-Hindu called Amit Tiwari,
Right,
right? So he is not being discriminated against, or he's not even made responsible for anything. Actually, yes, what you said is right. Sometimes people, when they are becoming passionate, they
right.
might come out as anti-Brahmins or anti-Savarna, or because of the discrimination they faced. But if you sit them down, if you ask them properly, they're not discriminatory against the people. The only thing is they are discriminatory against the people who keep calling themselves Brahmins till now, because if they call themselves Brahmin, they have to call someone else Shudra and
Oh,
someone else untouchable also, right? See, it's not, as long as it's like, having an underwear, right? It's okay if you have one, it's okay if you keep one and you're proud of the color and all that. But if you start publicly showing them off, then it doesn't make sense, and then it sounds a bit crude. So you will be pointed out that, so yeah, you're proud, but keep the pride at your home. That, and the question is also, what are you exactly proud of, right? I keep asking a couple of people who are kind of
yeah.
proud about what they are
Mm-hmm.
born. I say that you have done nothing. You have just,
Mm-hmm.
you're just born out of a person
Right.
who called themselves, the parents who called themselves
Hmm.
Brahmins or whatever caste they belong to, right? What is that you did? You didn't do anything. It's not even your voluntary choice that to be
Right.
born, right? You're just born, and now you're proud
Uh,
of what you are.
right.
That's
I won't
totally useless, right?
exactly, right. Yeah, I won't equate religion to like underwear, but it's more like you bought a particular like clothing brand and you're like, oh, I took from Gucci, so I'm like superior. I can understand that.
Yeah, and that too, it's not your active choice, right? See, at least
Right.
choosing your dress is your own choice. You choose, and you choose to wear something. But this is by birth. What they call varna,
Okay.
what they call jati, what they call
Yeah.
caste is just three different words in three different languages. That's all. There
It's
are
by
exactly
birth.
the same, birth
Right.
based,
Right.
um, with absolutely no choice of yours. See, if you are by
Okay.
choice, if you are a thief, by choice you choose to be a thief, then me calling you a thief is not an insult, right? You chose to
Right.
be that. So you could be a policeman, you could be a tax collector, you could be a farmer. Then I call you those names, right? But if you choose to be a thief,
Right.
if I call you a thief, it's not an insult. But here, I have no
Uh,
choice. Maybe the other person has no choice. You're not even giving that person a choice. People like string in a couple of videos say that,
right.
oh, someone can become from this varna to that varna. That never happens. That's bullshit. That's
They
total
can't.
trash talk, right? Mahabharata says you can't. Manusmriti says you can't. All the smritis, the Parasara Smriti says you can't. You're born the way, right? And also, if you want to become a Brahmin, you have to do good deeds in this janma, so that in next janma you will be given the boon of another varna, right? So,
Hmm.
so it is clearly established from the beginning, from every single religious book, that this is a birth-based system, and I cannot respect anything that is birth-based, right? Because
Right.
if you got a choice, if you have a choice, you strive hard and you become a good cricketer, I'll respect you. Even if you are an average cricketer, also you tried your best. But by birth, you can't be cricketer, right?
Right. And one of the things I want to say about this, so we come back to religion, is I was reading a bit on because now I'm having a debate about like the Islam thing, which is there. Because I read you said at one point that, oh, it's the most like violent religion, and that they're like a cult system, and that they could perish. And you said, oh, so my goal is to basically perish every religion. the thing is, like, I don't want to have every religion perish. My thing is, you can be respectful and understanding. Don't try to, but you have to understand and that everything is not about religion, and that putting so much importance on it could be gone. Like, I am fine with criticism against, any religion. My thing is when it starts getting used for hate and to just say, oh, why are you criticizing us? What about them? So the same thing with Islam thing is, I have like Muslim friends, and I know people who are Muslim who either don't follow or are like, normal. So I don't know how to treat with that, because I do want to say that I respect your religion and I understand you, and I don't want to judge them on the basis of their religion.
No, no. See, see, my wish aside, see, I want religion to die, but that's my
Okay,
wish, and
that's your right.
I don't have the control over the entire world. So the
Yeah.
point is, whether I wish it or not, religions will die.
Mm.
This is evident from all the history that we know of. See, there are some at least some 9,000 odd religions by some stupid estimates, but we can easily find some dead religions, uh, uh, amongst us. You have seen this Thor, right? The movie Thor.
Right.
That Thor is actually a god. Norse mythology. That Norse mythology is famous in Scandinavian countries, the four countries that we talk about,
Right. Right. Right.
right? So that is a proper religion. That it has books, it has edicts, it has what you say the what we call as customs and traditions. They all have it. Another
Mm-hmm.
set of religions are the Greek religion, the Jupiter is a god, right?
Right.
There are so many gods. Now think of what happened to those people, those gods, right? Nobody proved that Jupiter didn't exist, but still it died.
Uh-huh.
Nobody proved Thor existed, still it died. Same thing with these religions. Now imagine what was the religion before Islam arrived in Arabia,
I don't know.
right? It's a pagan religion. They used to, just like us, just like in the continent we called India, they
Mm.
used to have some kind of murtis, some kind of idols, right?
Right.
Different shapes of idols. Now
Then Prophet came and
Muhammad
changed
came
it.
by and broke everything and said, no, no, now the real religion has arrived, so old religion has to die.
It was his version of reform, basically.
Exactly. So now it's the time for another religion to take over or another enlightenment to take over,
Or
thinking
for
that this
them
is
to reform, or for them to change.
yeah, reformation doesn't work properly because once it is reformed, it becomes some other religion. You can easily
Okay.
see it in Indian context also. See, originally it was called the Vedic religion, right? It didn't have the name
Uh,
Hindu, it didn't have the name Sanatana. It just was people who were following
right.
Vedas, Vedic
Right.
peoples. They used to be called Vedic peoples. Now what happened, once they interacted with the locals of the Indian subcontinent, they had to uh, what do you say, live along with them and try to explain to them what these people are talking about. So they started
Okay.
making allusions. They started making, already the locals were Murti Pujaks. They used to pray to the tree, they used to pray to some stone, everything. So instead of discussing and discarding them like what Muhammad did, the Vedic peoples have said, okay, fine, this I will call Vishnu, this I will call Shiva,
Okay. Okay.
right? So now somebody tried to reform the religion, or at least try to bring a new color to it.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody created a cult called ISKCON. Now ISKCON is a strange cult, right? It has
I've seen
exactly
that.
two books.
I've
Yeah, it
seen
has exactly,
your fight.
yeah.
I've
So it has
that
exactly two books. Okay, just like Islam, ISKCON has two books.
two books.
Islam has Quran, that is their so-called philosophical text, and
Philosophy.
they have a group of literature called the Hadith,
The
right?
Hadith.
Which which are the what do you say? Their prophet's life and discussions with his people. Okay. Now in ISKCON, according to the cult of ISKCON, there are only two books. One is Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita is the
Mm-hmm.
spiritual and the philosophical text, the so-called philosophical text of how you should live. And how did the Lord Krishna live is described in the Bhagavad Purana, Srimad Bhagavad
Mm-hmm.
Purana. So these are the two books that they keep in. Now these people, ISKCON people, if you ask them separately, they don't like Vedas. They don't respect Vedas. They don't
Oh.
respect any other type of god. They don't like Shiva. They don't like the Shakteya group. Nothing. So now, but when you add Islam and Muslims and Christians to the equation, those people are called Hindus. But if you call them separately, if you sit with them separately, you clearly understand they want to call themselves Hindus only because of the other religions. They want to be separate. They have separate books. They have separate culture. If you call
Mm-hmm.
them culture, but that's what it is. The same thing happens to Arya Samaj also. They want to call themselves Hindu only in the context of the other two religions, Abrahamic religions. Remove the
Okay.
Abrahamic religions from the equation, and they are separate. They don't like Rama, they don't like Krishna. All of them are just humans, they're not gods. Vaishnava, Shaiva, Shakteya, all these are nonsense. The the people who do pujari, right? The puja and all those people are all frauds according to Arya Samaj, right?
Got it. Right, right, right. So, but I want to say, like, I have Muslim friends. I have a lot of there. So, how do I? I don't want to criticize. I want to respect it and say I understand where you're coming from. So, where do I act like not tolerant, but like accepting of what the religion is? I'm a bit confused. That should I be accepting, critical? What should I do? Because I don't want to just be one of those people who's like, oh, Islam is like the evil behind everything, which a lot of the Hindutva, sort of our extremist groups do in general.
No, why does this discussion come about? In the sense, if they call it peaceful, then you are allowed to. I don't recommend
No,
because
no,
it
they
again.
right, right. No,
See,
no.
if,
The discussion comes about because I'm confused in saying, oh, I have friends of mine who are not outwardly Muslim but have said, oh, on like social media and stuff that hey, we celebrate Ramadan or we celebrate this and that. And the thing with me is they are like very like nice, understanding people. Religion doesn't come much in discussion, but I'm worried. Like recently, the Kanpur riots and all happened, and so I'm seeing a lot of like people blaming, saying, "Oh, Muslims are only responsible, Hindus are like this." So I'm like, okay, where do I see like, you know, where should the blame go, or how should this sort of come in? Where how do I equate my criticism or my understanding of it?
no, what you can do is think about from the human rights angle. If in doubt, this is my common thing.
Right.
If in doubt, look from the human rights angle. First thing, if it's a crime, religion doesn't matter,
Mm-hmm.
right? If it's a crime, then religion doesn't matter. If it's
Right.
not a crime, if it is a moral issue, then before adding religion, can you think of your own religion people doing it, right?
Okay, so Kanpur violence. I can't see like a lot of people of my religion getting. I can sort of see them doing it.
Kanpur violence, I don't remember what is that.
Oh, you didn't know there was a whole like currently a few days ago there was a whole like fight in Kanpur going on. You know the Nupur Sharma thing going on?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Now
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
remember.
So
Now
in
I
her
got it.
thing they were like
Oh,
Nupur
that is
Sharma. There
easy to
was
answer. I
she
will tell
was
you. See, I saw Nupur Sharma saying that your prophet was so and so, right? She started talking about the
six
prophet
yeah
and
6 year
these
old
people.
9 year old.
Ha, those things are not allegations. Those are recorded in their own books. Okay. First
Okay.
thing, they don't have any right to take offense what is written in their books. If it's written clearly, then why are you getting offended to it? I'm just saying what the person did. Yes, Muhammad married someone who is 6 years old. Hazrat Aisha written in her own hadith that she was married when she was 6 years old. She was playing with dolls, and she was consummated. The marriage was
Okay.
consummated when she was 9 years old. It is recorded history in their own books. It's not even written by non-Muslims. It is written by Muslims. Now, she might have used it in a
Mm-hmm.
derogatory tone. Okay. Now, I don't see that as a problem as
She
well
did. It was
because
hate speech. Hate speech.
I know, I know, I know, I know. I still support her. what do you say, right to speak. The reason is Islam has
Yeah,
never
I'm not
stopped
against that right to
criticizing
speech.
others. No, no, let me finish.
Okay,
Islam
go
was,
ahead.
and the speakers of Islam have never shied away from criticizing other religions. Okay. That
Okay.
fellow called Zakir Naik, he put
Fakir
up a
Naik.
TV called Peace TV, right? And that
Right.
fellow criticizes Hindus, Hinduism and Christianity, left, right, and center, uh,
Okay.
every single day. And after he's banned from this, he is now very popular. I don't know, in Indonesia or Pakistan, I don't know where he's
Mm-hmm.
living, I don't care. But he still does the same things. When he is allowed to criticize other religions, who are these Muslims to say that you can't criticize my prophet? Yes, he is criticizing every single person. Rama is bad, Christ is bad or not bad, or is what do you say? He's not worthwhile. So when he can criticize other religions, why is he getting? Why are other Muslims getting anxious when their own prophet is under the question? And
Mm.
that too, if I give my own interpretation, then then you're, see, for example, in Hindus, if I say something like your Rama is marrying so many people, that's obviously false, right?
Mm.
That's Krishna we are talking about. Rama didn't marry multiple people,
Right.
right? At least according to the books. So so if I say a derogatory term, then me saying Rama married multiple women, that is derogatory, or at least untasteful, distasteful, because that was
Mm-hmm.
never in the books. Now if I write something, if I describe something that is written in their own books by their own people, how is that becoming derogatory?
Right.
Mentioning it should never be derogatory.
Right.
Mentioning, yeah, if you
But I
if you
think
start making,
using it for hate speech is where the issue is coming in.
yeah, using it for hate speech, but still that is not call for violence. Just
Yeah.
because she spoke, now you go and speak against her god, that's okay. When did they ever stop?
Right.
Right, they never stopped criticizing other religions. Now it is their turn. They should shut the hell up and accept it. This is a democracy, and this is exactly when functional democracies, how functional democracies work. People are
Okay.
allowed to criticize each other, and if it hurts you, big deal, wash it away. And if you can, stop listening to it. And if you want to listen and get hurt, please listen to it, get hurt, and try to hurt them with words,
Yeah. So like
not
I'll
with.
tell you with words thing happened. The guy who had like the news guy, alt news person, Zubair. So he had
Mhm.
basically posted the clip of what she was saying, and he said, "Oh, she's being hateful and like he says that why is BJP allowing saying that hateful and derogatory people like this are giving speeches and then creating hate?" So then they are now trying to equate and saying, "Oh, the
Hmm.
attacks and the comments that Nupur Sharma is getting is because of you." But he said, "I'm also getting hates and comments," and he didn't really say anything wrong. He just said that you're using it as a form of hate speech. So it's like, where does the nuance there come in?
Yeah, that is playing with people. This thing, people just want to get angry for whatever reason they can find. So I'm not worried about that. The only thing is,
Yeah.
if it translates to violence, then it has to be curbed with an iron hand. This is not call for violence.
Yeah,
if
it
if
was,
somebody
I think, in.
if somebody is criticizing a person who is dead for 1600 years and you're still getting hurt, then I don't know what kind of a mental patient you are, or
Yeah, yeah, right
what kind of
now,
crackhead you are. If you
there's a
still
sort
feel
of.
hurt, no, what I'm going to say to the people who get hurt is, yes, if you get hurt, hurt the other person where it hurts only with words. If you take up arms, then the state will do what it can to shut you up permanently.
Okay,
Right?
so
That's
the
not
right.
the that's
So
not the
Kanpur
way
violence,
functional
right.
democracies work.
Right. So with
Yeah.
Kanpur violence, it was as such that there were people like Muslim people who had closed off their markets in their occupation and protest. They had said, "Ki oh,
Mhm.
we're not going to do because of what this woman had said." Then later on in Friday, I think some incident happened because of which they were telling others that please, just shut your thing off, and the thing went out of hand. It got aggressive, and both sides started throwing stones at each other. Then like
Mhm.
police came now, what the footage is also showing that police is assisting a lot of the Hindu people in throwing stones, and like the Muslims are getting attacked in it.
Hmm.
And the police is doing nothing about it. So it's like the police also like were choosing a side at that point.
Yeah, that happens when your government itself is of one particular religion, favoring one
It
particular
happens.
religion.
It
That tends to
happens.
happen.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, so the
nuance like
people
that,
who
right? Mm-hmm.
yeah, the people who want to be rational and think rational, you
Mm.
always choose the side of human rights. It
Right.
is
So I.
everybody's right to criticize. It is everybody's right to speak. And if
Mhm.
we get hurt, we find a way to hurt them in the same exact way. I'm not saying eye for an eye,
Understanding.
but words, always use words. If you don't have words,
Right.
if you are picking up arms or weapons, it means that you have no longer you no longer have any bit of
Yeah,
intelligence left
so
in you.
what's going on right now is they're protesting and they're running a hashtag on Twitter being like Modi, basically this saying like they're condemning Modi, the Muslim people are. And BJP has
Mhm.
issued a statement that we do not associate with what the woman had said.
Yeah, that's a political statement. That's fine. My
Yeah,
point
yeah,
is
yeah.
not political at all. I am saying that everybody will have what do you say, a right to criticize, a
Right.
right to speak. If it is distasteful, like I just said a minute back, right? If I keep trending a video saying that Rama is has having multiple wives, nobody will watch it. Everybody will think I'm a
Yeah.
crackhead, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So only the taste of people should be measured. If one particular
Yeah.
religion is being attacked continuously for all the time, they also
Yeah.
have the same right to attack the others using words, use videos, use words,
Okay. Right. But
right?
is there a way to curb it so that this hate doesn't exist?
Now, this is crime, right? See, beating each other has went off into the realm of law and order. That should not
Hmm.
be messed with. Law and order is supposed to be in the government's hands. Religious violence, the only way to curb that is to allow everybody to discuss. I will criticize your God, you will criticize my God. If you don't get hurt, I don't get hurt.
Yes.
Simple.
So speaking of
Or,
another
or,
thing.
or the
Hmm.
final thing is, let's come to an agreement. Let's not insult each other's God and shut the hell up.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
go to your mandir, I go to my masjid. We're good with each other. I don't
Hmm.
mess with you, you don't mess with me.
Yeah.
Okay, but if one person crosses the line, that doesn't mean that you start, issuing death threats to them,
Yeah, yeah,
sartan
yeah.
se
That
jua
was
and
wrong.
all that.
That was wrong. Even with Zubair, like people threatening him was not right. Like you can't just say because he posted the clip and said that she's being a hate monger that oh you had told people to go threaten her. He didn't do that. He just said you were being a hate
Hmm.
monger. Threatening him
Right, right.
and was not right. Right. One thing I want to say about this like hate speech versus criticism thing. You know Anand Ranga.
No.
No, okay, okay. Yeah, he's one of like in politician. He also falls a lot into Nupur Sharma territory where it's like I'm not against his right to speak, but most of the time what happens when like Hinduism gets criticized, his biggest defense is just whataboutery. He just does
Ah.
whataboutery and he says that oh Islam is like this. His criticism which I was completely like, what are you even saying? He's saying moderate Muslims are not true Muslims because they don't follow fundamentals and they are like because people who fall like fundamentalists, Islamic fundamentalists are bitter and
Hmm.
hateful and moderate Muslims are not actual Muslims because they don't follow. So I'm like, you're just spouting nonsense at that point.
Hmm.
Hmm.
ठीक है जी. Then that was good discussion.
Oh, right, right.
ठीक है?
So, right.
Okay then. So we'll pick up another topic next week.
Yeah, so no, no, you're not angry at me, right? I was just asking in terms
No,
of.
no, no. No, no, no. It went off for a couple of minutes, so I thought we'll take a break for another type of call. That's all.
Oh, okay, okay,
No,
okay.
no.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
always welcome. I always welcome
Yeah, I
all
just
calls.
feel the Snoopur Sharma thing was that oh, just the
No,
hate
no, no.
speech manner of it, and I feel now it's going a bit out of hand with they're not doing violence, but it's like on social media, it's a lot more aggression. So I feel thoda going
Yeah,
off.
yeah, yeah.
I just want to ask one last question is I feel that politics has become way too nauseating and bit anger inducing where I feel like I'm getting angry and bitter at almost any other side. So I'm thinking that not being apolitical, but to leave and pursue other goals of mine, like media and art and film. So should I do that or should I do politics?
Politics should never be a goal. Politics should happen instinctively. If you are inspirational, if you are going to inspire some people, other people, right? And if you have the what is it, the wherewithal to tolerate assaults, verbal assaults, and all that, then
Yeah,
you can, or else you can go
yeah,
to something else. I will suggest
right.
rational people getting into politics all the time, but again, it has to be coming from within, right?
Yeah, so how do I just want to ask, be more tolerant and not get bothered so much by social media toxicity or like the discourse that goes on?
Easiest thing every time, think in terms of human rights. Is
Right,
this anything? Is this destroying or is it breaking somebody's human right? If it's not, then probably it is a matter of opinion.
right. Got it. Thank you.